68% of the people coming to your website are doing so on one of these, on a mobile device. That's why it's so important for you to test your web page both on desktop and on mobile, especially when it comes to those dreaded order forms. I'm talking about the order button itself being truncated. I'm talking about the checkout page or the pop-up. Sometimes it looks okay on desktop, but then you look at it on a mobile device and there you go. You didn't even look and you already lost 68% of your traffic. So we're currently using this all-in-one CRM called Ontraport to create our landing pages. It ends up looking pretty well, right? We have a global header, we have links, we have colors, we have the ability to drop down, but here's what I'm really adding to and also concerned about. I have this DFY podcast offer, $4.97 a month, and I'm going to be adding a $5,000 per year button next to it. And I can almost guarantee that it will not look good on a mobile device. So we'll add the button, and we'll also probably add a mobile version that's one on top of the other, and then keep the desktop version side by side, but it really depends on how it looks. So let's get to it. We are at Ontraport.com. We click on the Pages tab on top, and we have all of these different landing pages that we've created. We click on this one, and here it is with all of these elements and colors. And at the very bottom here, we have this order button, which it took me so many gosh dang weeks to get this just the way that I wanted to. And let me show you a little bit of gobbledygook. I guess I'll open up a notepad and show you. So this is in the Ontraport editor. Excellent, click back. The Ontraport editor, you can drop in headlines and text and buttons and video and things like that. And that is what most of these are. That is what these green buttons are. We click on this and it says it's a button. You customize the text, and then there's this link, and we click on the link, and then we say, well, I can either link to a web address or I want to link to a block on this page. Select block, and we scroll down to the order area and click on link to this block. So that is how we add a button. But then when it comes time for this final button, the regular Ontraport button, for some reason or another, didn't quite do what we wanted. So we had this code and we dropped in. This is just what we get from our payment processor called ThriveCart. And we also, I think, added in a couple of colors here just to make it match the other buttons that were on the page. So a little bit of a gobbledygook from our shopping cart, which is ThriveCart. I highly recommend it. We go to products, and if I go to my DFY podcast production plus notes plus social posting. And so this is how easy Ontraport is. You say, here's my pricing for this product, and here are the processors I want to use, PayPal and Stripe. And then here's the checkout page, customize, and you just set all your items that you want. And then you have a way to accept both PayPal and Stripe credit card payments. It is called ThriveCart. So what we'll do is we will go to this product and go to this again. And this will be, I don't know why I have the yearly renewal as well. So I would normally just click on this clone button and clone this. But I believe I have this, and this was 1,400, and this is now 5,000. Save all of this, and I am going to I'm going to hang on to this code that I grabbed right here, but we'll go back to this. And we want to, first things first, add the side-by-side button. So we'll click on this edit block, and we'll look at what we're dealing with here. So we need to separate this a little bit. So we have the DFY podcast order form, we have the button, we have this other piece. So then we will copy, or we'll move. So we have these two items, and then we'll move the button to that middle block, and then we'll move this down there. We'll move this down there. Still looks the same. Why did we do it? Well, we did it so that way we can edit this block here, and we can add a column, and we can drag this there, and then we can click done, and we can copy that or clone it and drag it over there. And that's as easy as it is to create some side-by-side buttons using a drag and drop tool. So here we'll say this is, well, it's a big long thing. So done for you podcasting, $4.97 a month. So we'll say monthly option. And click done, monthly option. And then this one, we want to instead edit this code. And then this will be the yearly option. And this will be $5,000, save 2 months free, right? And then this, instead of being 26, will be 110. And let's paste all this in. Okay. We will make that, just for ease of use, 5,000 per year. Okay, and let's click on publish and republish. And then now there's a few ways that we can test this. Is first of all, we'll test it in the browser, and then if you resize your browser and make it thinner, that's a little easy way to test. And there's also a thing called the Chrome Inspector, but let's just dial this up on our website. So I believe this public page is dfypodcast.com/production, and I don't feel like going through the rigmarole of screen sharing my phone on the screen, and it also has not updated. So a couple of things is, first, I'm using the Ontrapages plugin in WordPress. It's a WordPress plugin. See how there's Ontrapages on the side, and we can see what we have listed here. And so this way, even though our main website is hosted in WordPress, we can create Ontraport pages. So I believe if I delete my cache and then I refresh on my phone for starters, it actually looks pretty okay. And like I said, don't feel like mirroring my phone, but there we go. Monthly option looks right on top, and yearly option, $5,000 per year. I'm actually a little disappointed because I wanted a little more work here. I wanted this to be messed up and me have to create a mobile version. So let's see if we can, if we want to be perfectionists and still do it. So I guess, how about this? Let's try a mobile version with these buttons side by side. Okay, so here's how we would do it, is we would go to edit block, and then we would hover over the whole thing and copy block, okay? And we can also name our block. So this is a good time to do that. So we'll say block name, and this will be order form mobile. And then this other one will be order form desktop. All right, so now that we can tell what we're working with, and then what we do is when you edit the block, go to, oh, I should have showed the screen. So we have these block names, right? Click on edit block, and it didn't even save, so that's okay. So this is order form desktop. Click on done. Did that save? Didn't even save. How the heck do we save it? Order form desktop. Click on the checkbox. That's the secret. Okay, so order form desktop. And this other one is order form mobile. And this also messes with our dropping to the bottom, now that I think about it, because only one will be visible. So a little more troubleshooting. Let's click on Add Block and add a single column block. And then let's drag up, let's see, this, and delete that. And then we will mess with the spacing and say 0 spacing here. And then we'll call this block name order form. So this way, when we click on, so we have all these buttons on our page, right? We have, I want you to handle the technical side, and we are linking to not the desktop or the mobile versions, but this kind of pre-order page. And click on Done. So there's that top one, and then there is Start Done For You Podcasting, and we will link to this block. Will it let us do it? I don't think it let us did it. Done For You Podcasting. Select block. Link to this block. Okay. And then we have, this is exactly what I need. Select block to link to. Almost done, I promise. And then join right now today. We will link to all right, that's the last of them. And then let's save what we have so far. And then now it's time to customize some things. So here's the mobile block. We'll say display settings, display on mobile devices only. And then on the desktop, display to desktop only. So that way, one of these blocks will only show to mobile, and one of these blocks will only show to desktop. And it's time to have some fun and see what we can customize. So let's say we wanted to do as we said and make these buttons appear side by side. So maybe for the, not the desktop, the mobile version, we can maybe edit it like this. Edit the code. And we'll see, how about this? $4.97 per month. See how that one looks. Uh-oh, upside down. So let's change this. Should be $4.97 large print, and then per month. Okay. And then let's try for this one. We can do 5,000 per year. I'm realizing also I need to test this button before doing anything else. So $4.97 per month, 5,000 per year. Click on Publish, Republish, delete the cache, and while we're at it, we can go to New Incognito Window, go to this web page, click on F12, and this brings up our inspector, and then we can click on this computer and laptop icon, and we can simulate different tablet sizes and different phone sizes. So you can see here now this is side by side. And if we make it like an iPhone size, it's still one above the other. So I guess that means we need to condense them even more, right? So let's try. Why are those on top of each other and not side by side? So we can click on this gear and advanced settings, the block. I thought there was like something about, yeah, full. So let's see if that makes a difference, right? Instead of the default width, go with the full width. And then publish, delete cache, look at the little preview, and I'll also refresh on my phone. So it seemed like it made no difference, right? And let me try one last little hurrah and like really reducing the size of this to maybe 63. I'm not sure if that will be too much. Yeah, so we'll try 63 on both. Republish and clear the cache. And I hope that you get the point, right? That we just have our desktop block and our mobile block, and we keep playing around with this until we get something that works. And I'm really tempted to try putting these side by side and see if that makes a difference. Because I'm really trying as far as looking at all the possible settings I can change. What can I change in the block? Left and right padding. Not sure how much that'll change on mobile. And spacing. Oh wait, we're at editing desktop. My mistake. Desktop's not what we were looking to change. So edit the desktop version. Oh, shoot. I was editing the wrong thing. So let me undo what I just did as far as bringing the spacing back. Let's see. Spacing. Editing these. Okay, back to 100%. 100%. But that's good. That's just showing you the difference, right? That this is the desktop version. We need to be editing the mobile version. And you can see also that sometimes you have to click it on just the right way. Sometimes there's editing the block. Sometimes there's editing the table itself. And then there's other times when you're in this weird like readjusting mode, like drag and drop, and you're just in the wrong place. So let's try this with 25%. And it looks weird on a desktop, but let's see how it looks in mobile. So clear the cache, and then we refresh the mobile version. Oh no, even worse. So my next thought is to reduce the font size, but in the spirit of finishing this, I think I just like the way that it is. But it was good to show you how we could, for example, like maybe we wanted to change the headline to be lesser or have this just like kind of make more sense. But I don't mind too much of how any of this looks on mobile. I like maybe the original headline could be a little different, and maybe this large text could be a little smaller, but the order button I'm okay with. So maybe let's roll back a few things. So here's what we'll do is we will edit the mobile, and I want to delete it, and then here we will edit the order form, and we'll just say this is order form for everybody, display settings, all devices. And then, since we were here, I actually want to make mobile versions for some of the top copy, not the, did we delete or we close the window? I think we did. I want to make the mobile versions for the first few headlines and not for the order form, because on a closer inspection I kind of like the order form. We'll look at this again, need to publish and clear the cache. So I just want to change some of the text on top. So now we're back in business, right? Looks okay enough, one on top of the other. Let me test this like I said I would. So that is, one is a pop-up and one is not, right? So this one comes up as a pop-up. This other one is a full order form. So let me do what I was going to do originally. And podcast. So we'll delete. All right. Clone this. And I wanted to call this, all right, edit. We'll say this is yearly. Our label will DFI podcast year, and then the price, we'll make it one time, 5,000, and click next. Rename this $5,000 for 1 year. Okay, next, and it's live. Good. So we need year. Through all of this. Commissions are all okay. And let me, we'll just save that. And that is product number 125. So let's go back here and edit the code again. And this will be product number 125. Okay. Publish that. Clear the cache. Test it again. And then let's get mobile versions created for those ugly headlines. So we refresh the page. Click on $5,000 per year. It should pop up. I don't like that's copied too, so let's see why the heck that appeared, but everything else is fine. And we'll say yearly, save that. Okay, so now let's try this. Look at what we don't like about the mobile version. So the orange headline, and then the hi, I'm Robert Plank, and then we worked with professionals just like you. So and maybe the testimonials are a little too thin, but let's try not to be too picky, because we might be able to fix that. So here we have spacing. Maybe not, because sometimes the spacing is one way for desktop and one way for mobile. So let me try this. Position. Yeah, can't change it there, can we? Can we perhaps set that 60% here match viewport default, and then, yeah, darn it. Then set that in there. No, okay. Well, let's not be perfectionists. Let me just get that's height anyways. If we did. Kind of like it better that way anyways. Okay, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So here we have, let's think here. We have these blocks. So I'll add a single column block down below. And I'll make the spacing none. Then I will make the backgrounds a solid color. And it will be our orange color. Then I'll move the button there, and that will free us up to, first of all, get rid of this row. Okay. And so we'll call this headline desktop. Then we will copy it. And it looks weird when we're editing it, but this will be headline mobile. And then this, instead of, we can do it either like that or like that. So instead of 60 points, we'll say 40 points. And then we can say display the small headline on mobile. Then display the big headline on desktop. We also said we wanted to adjust this, and maybe we can just fix this on the fly too. That's not enough. Okay, well, can I undo that? No, not such luck. All right, so I'll try to get this back around where it was. Okay. And actually, out of curiosity, how does the photo look? So we have all that. Let's see. We have a photo of, yeah, it's okay. We just, the photo's okay. We just want smaller text here, and that's already fixed. We want, yeah, just two areas with smaller text. So similar idea. We'll say edit block, copy, and we'll say hero desktop, display settings, desktop only. Then this one will be hero mobile, display mobile only, and then exiting out of whatever we need to, we will condense this. See how that looks. And then we also want to do this for this headline too. So add another block, and this block will have no spacing. Background will be that blue again, the primary color. And then we'll drag this headline up in there. Take out the space here. So delete that row. Then say, this will be just like you, desktop, display desktop only. Then duplicate. And this other one will be just like you, mobile, display mobile devices only. Exit out of all of that so we can resize this down to perhaps 34. Let's publish that. Let's delete the cache and look at it from both sides. look at it from the mobile view and from the desktop view, and then we will call it a day because we have shown you how to create desktop and mobile versions in Ontraport. So now we go here. Cool, I can see the headline plus some other cool stuff. Then when I scroll down, this text isn't overly large and obnoxious, and it's we work with professionals just like you. And I can call this up on my phone and verify the same thing. Then go to the web page again, refresh that, just make sure everything's okay. And especially if you're like me, you might be paranoid that there are duplicate blocks. Like maybe if there's like two versions of the same headline. Well, let's just verify that, right? And let's verify that this drops us to the bottom. Let's verify that both of our order buttons work, $5,000 and $497 a month. Okay. And then we can see work like you. So it looks great on desktop, and I even kind of like the new style of these testimonials, and I'm happy with what we have. So that is how we did it in Ontraport, and it's through the little known kind of area that it's a little more on the advanced side, right? Because it takes a while to get used to like editing blocks, adding, manipulating, adding background, spacing, but then there's this whole idea of display settings where you can make different blocks on your web page appear to desktop and other blocks appear for mobile. And this is the way that you can have the best of both worlds and have a great mobile looking screen device, because most of your web traffic is going to be mobile based, 68%. And you might be only testing it on desktop or on your desktop, and you're only testing it for 30% if that's the case. So use Ontraport if you haven't already. It's great for email broadcasting, for your CRM solution, automating, hooking up to Zapier, all these different systems. But it's also a really surprisingly great way to create simple web pages that you don't have to maintain along with WordPress, although you saw from the way I did it, using the Ontrapages plugin, you can already have your existing WordPress site and have a few landing pages here and there hosted using Ontraport. And I know that me personally, I kind of have maybe half and half of my pages in Ontraport, and some of the websites that I want to build out more, such as DFY Podcasts, where I want to have the blog posts, I'm kind of slowly transitioning into either making the Ontraport pages have a similar design to the WordPress site, or maybe just migrating them from one or another. But the point is, you don't have to let the technology hold you back. You can create web pages on Ontraport or on WordPress. Technology is not a limiting factor, just your imagination and your skills and what you're doing to make it work. Ontraport is great for web pages, and it works even with mobile devices. So use it, have fun with it. Ontraport.com. I'm Robert Plank from DFY Podcast. Like and subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified about more tutorials like this, and I'll talk to you very soon. Remember to leave a comment and like the video if you liked it. Bye for now.